Welcome to the 2024 How I Met Your Monster ranking. Now that the veil between the living and the dead is officially thinning, we've set up shop in the Monster Clubhouse to celebrate. We've collected the data, synthesized insights, and conducted hours of analysis. By that, I of course mean we ranked all the monsters we've met since last Halloween. How it works is pretty simple. Each one of us, Zach, Danny, and Casey, individually ranked the monsters we've met on the pod over the last year, then averaged those picks for an official Master Monster list, ranking our least to most favorite monsters based on a rubric that includes things like memorability, scariness, creativity, and honestly, just some good old-fashioned personal preference. If you're more of a visual person, it's kind of like we took the three lists, put them through the shunting process from society, and created one bigger, mutated, bloodier super list. Make sense? Great. Now, we've had our lab assistant, Cody the Killer Miller, do all the dirty work and average out our individual picks so that neither one of us has any idea what this year's monster ranking looks like. So, expect a lot of surprised reactions, a few jump scares, and the likely possibility of bloodshed. This is a horror movie podcast after all. And with that, let's go rank some monsters. You're listening to How I Met Your Monster, a podcast that explores the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. My name's Zach.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Casey.
And together we dive into the world of horror to find out how filmmakers have introduced us to our favorite monsters time and time again. This is How I Met Your Monster.
You opened it. We came.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left.
Explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
Call you meatloaf? Surprise, Sydney.
Welcome to How I Met Your Monster, the show where we discuss the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. Another year has come and gone. Halloween to Halloween is how we do our New Year's here on How I Met Your Monster.
Our fiscal year.
Our fiscal year. Our fiscal frisker.
Our freak skull year.
Our freak skull year.
It can just be Friskel.
Freak skull. Yeah. Oh, I like
Freak
that.
skull.
Happy freak skull year, guys.
Man. Okay. Our fiscal freak skull year is officially
Our Billy
over.
Crystal year.
Our Billy Crystal year. City Slickers is upon us. Dude, just stop. Okay.
It's a search for Curly's monsters.
Casey has quit the show on this freak skull anniversary.
Can't do it anymore.
Casey, I'm sorry.
It's all right, I guess.
I can't believe we're in the fourth quarter of our freak skull year.
Wonder how many listeners we've lost already in this episode.
They're just hitting the fast forward by 30-second button.
Like, I'm here to listen to them rank monsters, not make fucking words up.
But that's perfect. That's like what monsters, so many great monsters are. Like Frankenstein is like an amalgamation of different parts. It's putting them together. We're basically the Dr. Frankenstein of horror movie podcast ranking episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fiscal years.
Yeah. And we're a little freaky and there's skulls involved and Billy Crystal, and we're going to find some gold. Curly's
There's
gold.
some freaky monsters on this list. I'm not gonna lie.
There are. I'm excited.
I did not have fun
Just in general, or with what?
with ranking.
Oh,
I don't like doing it.
This was a tough one.
hey, at least what's his dick isn't on here. The fucking space cowboy from House 2. What's his name?
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders.
Skid Maroney. Skid
Marks.
What's
Skid
the
Marks
name? What's his
McGee.
name? The cowboy.
Skip Marouche.
The ghost cowboy from
Marouche.
House 2.
Voiced by Kumail Nanjiani. Bob's Burgers reference.
What's his name? Anybody?
Colonel Cowboy. Colonel Dead Cowboy.
Colonel Dead Cowboy. Oh, he likes skulls. Speaking of skulls, talking about freaky skulls. House to the second story.
Slim Razor.
Slim Razor.
At least Slim Razor.
How did we not know that? Such an obvious ghost cowboy name.
Yeah.
And remember that time when he uses his Slim Razor? Oh no, he has a gun.
No. No, I just am like bad at I'm just bad at this.
This one is tough. Yeah. Honestly, like
no, I get very much in my head what's scarier, what's not, what do I like more, what, you know what I mean? It's just like once I got like past 3.
Yeah.
So like 4 through probably 21 could have all been interchangeable to me.
So yeah.
We need to do maybe next year we could do it where it's like we have our categories like memorability, scariness, whatever. And then we take those categories to each monster and we do like, whatever out of 5.
Yeah. Cody literally said the same thing last year. He's like, why don't you do a point system next year?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so smart. Yeah. So,
well, I think this year is much more organized, better organized than last year.
Agreed.
And so next year will be even more organized.
Even more.
So
it's going to be so organized that it'll be boring. So like in 5 years, you just come in and we just like, it's just us saying, we've sent you facts of our rankings. It's like, wait, what? That's the episode.
Yeah. But that would make it easier for me just in general.
No, this was tough though. It's tough ranking in general because we obviously picked these movies because we liked them, which means we probably like the monsters too. So then also to find this like subjective, I don't know, like system to kind of determine what is the quote unquote best, we should kind of like, set up the fact that we're not ranking the movies, by the way. We're just ranking the monsters. And we're not saying just because it's at the bottom of the list, we necessarily think it's bad. We may think it's bad, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just, someone's got to, you're watching, I'm a big Survivor fan. Someone's getting voted off the island. Doesn't mean they're a bad player. It just is what it is. Mm-hmm. If you're not number 1, you're last. As Ricky Bobby's
and since we average them, like, some of us might have had it higher and then somebody else put it lower. So it just ultimately gets lower on the list. So, let's get into it. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got 26 monsters to rank.
It'll take us 26 minutes because we do 1 minute per monster and we'll be out of here before you can say Freaky Skulls.
Please.
We out of here before next Freak Skull year is over.
What if it took us 1 year to record this episode?
It might, but the way that it's going.
Okay, so let's start it off. Number 26.
Oh my God. All right,
Danny, you are in charge of revealing these because we do not know. Like, none of us know.
So just to give you a visual, Cody the Killer Miller, my husband, also my lab assistant, our husband, he put together a beautiful list. He took all the information, as Zach pointed out in the intro. So we do not know. So it's all blacked out. So we are basically going to reveal we're literally going to reveal the titles one by one. And then we're going to reveal where we individually ranked them so we can kind of discuss like why we put those titles there. So
without further ado,
here
we go. Number 26. Oh, he revealed number 1 already. Damn it.
Did I?
What?
No.
You scared me. I almost revealed the wrong one. And we of course have it in the custom How I Met Your Monster yellow. Yes. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I'm nervous.
I already know what it is.
You do?
Wait,
I mean, I have a good guess.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
I don't even remember the monsters that we ranked. It's been so long.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Wait, I'm in the wrong. Make sure I'm in the right
cell. Oh my God, Danny, you're killing me here, man.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh. Myron Larrabee from Jingle All the Way.
Played by Sinbad.
Is that what you thought it was going to be, Casey?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so the last pick in our
it's pretty self-explanatory.
Is Myron Larrabee from the film Jingle All the Way, which we covered for some reason.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole joke all in itself because we threw Jingle All the Way out there as like a vote, right?
Yeah.
I
said it jokingly. And you guys were like, "Oh yeah, that'd be funny."
Well, because we did the poll,
and then we
were letting you, the listeners, pick.
Yeah.
What Christmas movie we were going to do, and we added Zach added Jingle All the Way. That son of a
as
bitch.
a joke.
Ended up being a great episode, actually. We had LA-based filmmaker, Texas native Ben Davis come on to guest, and it was a really fun episode.
Yeah.
Now, okay, Myron Larrabee. I think it's genuinely a funny performance.
Yeah.
I like Sinbad. I think he's very charming. So it's nothing against him.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
he's not very scary.
He doesn't compare to anybody else on the list.
No, exactly. That's the best way to say it. It doesn't compare to anyone on the list. He is kind of sympathetic, but then not, because he's like trying to kill a kid in the end. So he does earn a spot on this list for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see where we place this. You guys ready?
Well, yeah.
Casey.
Oh,
you had it at number 25. So it's not your last pick.
Well, no, because remember
what?
There's a movie on this list that I haven't seen.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So by default. I also had it in my number 25 out of 26. And Zach, you had it at number 22. Zach had it at number 1.
I had 4 monsters that I thought were worse than Myron Larrabee.
Okay. All right.
Jingle All the Way.
Do you want to defend that? Is there something about him that kind of like boosted him up on the ranking?
Yeah. I'm intrigued.
I can't remember who's below him now. Let's get a little farther.
Let's just reveal them all.
I can come back, and I'll come back because I can't remember who I put.
No, that's fair. Okay.
Let's move on to 25 and see. We can. Yeah.
Our number 25 pick in our monster ranking is
Swan from Phantom of the Paradise.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, Swan, he's a little like, what Casey, what'd you call him? Either a little man or a lesbian?
Yes.
But he's pretty evil. I mean.
Yeah, he is evil.
Yeah. So this one was memorability for me. We just watched this movie.
You don't remember it?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything this guy fucking did.
Let's see. Where did we? Let's reveal where we ranked them. Maybe I'll just do that.
Yeah, maybe just do it all together.
Okay, so Casey. Oh yeah, wow, Casey, you and I are on the same page. I ranked it at 24. You ranked him as 24. Zach at 21. Just a notch above Myron Larrabee. Just slightly more memorable as a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not scary. He's evil as fuck, but he's also like
he's a corporate asshole. He's he's a CEO.
Yeah.
He is the guy that is like holding characters like Myron Larrabee back because he's always like fighting the man, and Swan is the man. Yeah. And just like stealing someone's art. And we've talked about it in the episode of like how his role is, which is a lot of people in that position where it's promising success to artists who already are way more creative than their promise of fame and fortune could ever be in the first place. So it's like big middle finger to someone like him. And Swan just encapsulates that. Great movie, great acting, Paul Williams, great character, all of that. But so twerpy and skeevy that I couldn't justify ranking him higher, especially compared to the other monsters we have on this list.
Yeah.
Interesting though, but those are those things make a great monster most of the time. I just didn't remember who he was.
All right, I'm going to reveal all of these together. Is that cool with you guys? I feel like that's just a little
Yeah, just
Oh yeah.
Or I'm sorry, in the row.
Yeah.
Yeah, so number 24.
All right, so number 24 on our list is
wow, damn. Okay, Ghosts of Our Past from Flatliners. The characters' past memories that are coming back to haunt them after they have crossed over into the afterlife and they brought something back with them. So the Ghosts of Our Past. This was my number 26. I had this on the very bottom of the list.
Well, same with Danny.
Yeah,
same with Danny.
But I had it way up there, apparently.
That's so surprising, Casey. This is a true twist.
I had it last because, like, when you get to the end of Flatliners, like, they're not monsters. They were people who were wronged, and they're just like,
right. But
coming
it's their
back
past that's haunting them. So it's not. And that's a strong thing.
Yeah.
Like in reality, that's pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess in terms of like memorability,
dealing with trauma and stuff like that after having things like that and your past.
So like you kind of ranked it like as from like the character's perception or their perspective of like dealing with these monsters.
Well, yeah. But just in general, anyway, when I'm looking at it as a ghost of my past trauma that I've experienced, not me necessarily, I guess, because I haven't been through anything like crazy traumatic, but luckily, but people who have, in real life, having somebody's past, come back to haunt them.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, no, and I think that's why the movie is so good and fun to watch because
it's very original too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
original, it's relatable, like you said. And I do feel like maybe I was a little unfair to put it so low, but I think mine was more in terms of like Zach said about it being like a true threat in the end.
Yeah.
And then just because memorability as like a monster. It didn't like, I kind of like forgot. It felt like vignettes of like memories rather than like a fully formed thing, which was the point of the movie. But yeah.
Well, and I think I looked at it like the exact opposite of how you looked at it, Casey, where it's like it wasn't things that happened to them that were traumatic that came back to haunt them. It was shit that they did. The main characters put trauma on these ghosts. Well, they're not all ghosts, but memories.
Right. But imagine accidentally killing a kid when you're a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how do you live with that?
Yep. Because in the movie, he falls out of the tree and it's like that moment where you do something and then you just like know your whole life is fucked.
Yeah.
Because you're like in just like a second, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And Julia Roberts, her character with her dad committing suicide.
Yep. And her thinking it was her fault.
Right.
Yep.
That's intense shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And this is why I love these rankings, because like Zach and I clearly came from a different place, but Casey, you gave it some love, and that is why it is not at the way bottom.
Yeah.
You gave it some legs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
We resuscitated the monsters from Flatliners.
Yes, we did.
All right. Are you guys ready for our number 23
yes.
monster pick? All right.
Yes. Okay.
Interesting, because when I was like, oh, I haven't seen this movie, where do I put this? And you're like, just put it at the bottom. That's probably where it'll be anyway. And then you guys rank it 18 and 20.
This is Fear Manifestations from the Ken Russell film Gothic.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say.
Yeah. Casey was not on our Gothic episode with us, so she hasn't seen Gothic. 18, Danny. Okay. Number 20 for me. Again, I think I ranked it low because it was like in the end, it was all just in their head because they were tripping on drugs and they were telling scary stories and like everything was just.
Remember that, Casey?
Sounds kind of cool.
You would like this movie, I think.
The movie is fucking wild, but when you like
I love it.
Go back, like when it was one of those things where I watched it and I was like, okay. But then when me and Danny talked about it, it was like, oh yeah, this movie is fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, so I think I put them low because they were just like in their heads. They weren't actual real monsters, but some of them were pretty cool. I mean, you got nipple tits.
Boner night. A nipple tit. One of the most, we were talking about like coming up with phrases for this podcast. Nipple tits is so iconic. For that reason alone, I think we should do maybe a watch along of Gothic so that we can pull Casey into the conversation directly.
Yeah, you got Boner Night, you got Nipple Tits, you got Sasquatch.
Sasquatch on the horse.
And what was it? We were having adventures, the adventures of Nipple Tits and Sasquatch.
And and then the baby, like wasn't there like a spider baby?
Oh, spider baby,
Don't ruin all of it.
Oh, okay.
That one I would say like I would want to tell someone about that one because it I didn't notice it until Zach pointed it out.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like a joint effort because you didn't see it because it only happens for like a few frames. Mm-hmm. I saw it. I brought it up to you. We went back and looked it up and we were like, oh, and you said that's kind of like a baby. And it's got like, we kind of went deeper into why it probably was a baby. And Gothic, that was a very interesting movie.
I love that movie. We have two Ken Russell movies on this list. And I am kind of frustrated with myself that his filmography is like such a blind spot for me.
Sure.
Because I just had so much fun. Sorry.
I do want to just clarify nipple tits for anyone who is not familiar with nipple tits. It's Julian Sands' character. He keeps like,
I don't know who's in it.
Yeah. He wants to he's having these visions of like mountains that are like breasts or whatever. And then like he sees the girl's breasts and where her nipples are, there's eyeballs instead.
What?
And somehow we were
trying to say like eye boobs or something. Like we for some reason we just nipple tits. It's just the same word basically.
It doesn't make sense.
We didn't even
eyeball thing,
realize we had done that until we're like, wait, what did we say?
So I ranked it as number 20, Danny 18, and then Casey. Obviously, you haven't seen it, so put it last. But
and since Casey has not seen it, I think we should end the conversation now so that she has an opportunity to see it. And let's move on to our number 22 spot on this monster ranking list.
Larry Talbot, the Wolfman. The Wolfman. Okay. Our only universal monster on this podcast so far is our number 22 out of 26.
It's disrespectful, you guys.
Well, I think that as a human being, he was awful, but I mean, it's just not scary.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Oh, so Casey, you ranked him in your number 20 spot. Yep. Danny 19, and I put him 17.
So this is Zach's highest ranking so far.
I'm surprised you put him so low, Casey.
So because that wasn't their goal with the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
He was just a normal guy.
Yeah.
In the 40s. Yeah. A normal rich guy.
So I only went by the Wolfman.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot on the pod, where it's like, his character is more like symbolic of what the story is trying to represent on like a psychological level. Because he isn't very. He does do some. He rips that guy's throat out, but it's implied because obviously it's,
I get that a lot of the reason it's not scary is just because it's old.
Yeah.
But
it is iconic. So I put him at 19. It's the Wolfman. But Larry, I tried to. You can't. Well, I didn't really separate them because it's Larry.
Larry.
Kind of a tool with the ladies, which I didn't love, and then doesn't really use his werewolf. He doesn't take advantage of being a werewolf to like really lean into the carnage. It's kind of just like, I'm a wolfman. I'm going to go for a stroll. Maybe I'll kill someone. You won't see it happen. And then someone's going to hit me on the head with a cane and, spoiler alert, die. But I do love the Wolfman. I love the movie.
Yeah, how menacing is a Wolfman if he can just be hit with a cane and die?
Exactly. And with that, number 21, you guys, are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're almost in our top 20. This is a big deal.
God. Yeah.
I'm shaking in my boots and I'm only wearing socks. So what does that tell you?
Yeah. Oh god. Okay. All right.
Number 21. Zach, what do we got?
Santa Claus. Santa Claus and elves from Rare Exports.
Yeah.
Casey, you ranked them as number 15. Danny, they were in your number 23 spot.
Sorry.
And I had them above in the 20s with number 18.
Okay.
They were fucking creepy.
Yeah.
They were.
His elves, like, because I remember you don't see Santa until like the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, somewhere in the middle, it got very like convoluted for me, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to decipher, and so like the reason they were kind of like higher up, I guess, than both of yours, I was thinking about it as like what Christmas is supposed to represent, and how like opposite it is.
I love that.
I guess you know what I mean, and just and
Well, yeah, Christmas is about like a guy and maybe some elves or whatever, like literally breaking into your house once a year.
Yeah.
And we're like, great.
But I mean like love and joy and like, that's what it's, that's what people think that whatever. And so I liked that it was opposing that. And also, again, very original, like with the Flatliners thing. So.
And the elves were just like old naked men.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The thing, Act 1 elves from this movie, they would be much higher.
Oh, yeah, because they were like they weren't on screen. They would like pull people into the shadows, and
I really didn't know where the movie was going. So then when you found out it's elves, you're like, holy shit, that's so creepy.
Yeah,
I won't spoil the movie if you haven't seen it, and I recommend you see it. It's a very fun holiday movie to watch if you're looking for something spooky. I feel like they're what's the word? Like, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like they get defanged a little bit by the end.
Yeah.
They seem a little defanged. They're a little, that's all. I'll leave it at that. I won't say anymore.
Yeah.
Also, we did rank Santa Claus and the elves, and there is one part of that feels it didn't have a lot of room to breathe, and we didn't explore that enough to really see like the potential of how scary that could be. So setup wise and the execution still, like in the earlier parts of this movie, they are great. And then once you start to reveal the monster a little bit more, and you kind of like pull back the shadows and you put like a direct light on them, literally and just kind of like metaphorically, I guess, kind of docked a few points for me personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's that good, like, I don't know if it's a twist or a reveal kind of like halfway through the movie where there's Santa Claus, and I don't want to say too much, but go watch Rare Exports because it's really good.
That's it.
I agree. All right. Well, we're all on the naughty list because, well, except for Casey. Casey had this at 15. So that's your highest choice so far.
Yeah.
And with that, you guys, we are in our top 20 monsters from the past year. Are you ready for number 20?
Let's do it.
Oh my God, Daniel.
I am devastated right now. You guys, what in the mother son of a horn bitch ass? Oh my God. I was ready to talk about this particular monster like a year from now when that's how long it would take us.
Good monsters on this list.
Okay, so listeners, our number 20 monster,
much to Danny's chagrin,
is Winslow Leach, aka the Phantom from Phantom of the Paradise. So here's the kicker.
I mentioned there would be bloodshed. The blood is coming.
Casey ranked Winslow Leach at number 21. I ranked Winslow Leach at number 23. Danny, on the other hand, ranked Winslow Leach at number 5.
He was in your top 5. Yeah. And he's all the way at the bottom.
That's so horrifying. All right, I'm just gonna say my piece for this. I think the best monsters are artists of their craft, and Winslow Leach, aka
Winslow's Leach. Sounds like his penis.
Ew.
Winslow's dick.
God, you're disgusting.
No, he's an artist of many crafts. He has an iconic look. It is so memorable. His look is so memorable. I would argue
that Beef is the most memorable character in this movie. So.
Well, I would argue maybe Beef, his presence accentuates Winslow as the monster.
Yeah, but Winslow's as the Phantom, his look is fucking cool.
It is
fantastic.
Weird. It's not scary to me.
But it's
nothing
but
about that movie was scary.
The way he becomes the Phantom, the fact that he is like the Phantom of the Opera, but not, and he is so like the journey that he takes to become a monster is so fucked up.
Yeah.
And also I think me putting him high is a response kind of to me putting Swan so low, is not because Swan is a bad villain. It's just not the type of villain that I like, where he's just talk about a leech. He is a leech.
Yeah.
In the, traditional sense. Winslow is the anti-hero, and it's fun to root for the anti-hero, but he's an anti-hero who is like unforgiving. Like, he is blowing people up to send a message. He's killing, but he's also creative, and he's a tortured soul, which I, always have a soft spot for. His kills are very theatrical. He stands up for what's right. So, stick it to the man.
Except when he kills the lighting technician, when he could have just asked him to point the light on the lady.
That's what makes him a monster, though. He needs the monster stats. If he had asked, yeah, I agree. If he had asked, he would be like, basically just like a vigilant, like singing Batman who just, I don't know, kills some people. That movie really stuck with me. I remember when I first saw it, I did not know what to expect. And I know we're not judging the movie, but just the character itself, like, I really didn't know where it was. I knew where it was going, but I didn't, if that makes sense. Like, his little journey was so different from like the traditional Phantom of the Opera that it wasn't like you weren't connecting, like, the pieces, so to speak.
Danny, I have to say,
I had fun.
For someone who loves the Wolfman, and he's your number 19 pick, and Phantom of the Paradise, the Phantom is your number 5 pick. It's kind of wild. That's a strange turn of events that I did not see coming.
Kind of wild.
Seeing this name pop up at 20, like, I was like, my brain like wasn't ready for it. I was like, wait, what?
I love it.
Now, can you guys defend your putting him so low? Because Casey, you had 21, Zach 23.
I thought it was stupid.
Oh, Casey.
Oh, his voice alone gives him like bonus points.
Okay, so remember that I wasn't very present during that movie. I don't remember anything about him besides his teeth.
That's fair.
I don't remember anything that he did besides the plunger with beef in the...
Yeah. I mean, he plunged beef.
He plunged beef from Beef Was Beefing It in the shower.
But that's all I remember, so...
He unclogged beef from the shower. Ew.
Ew. Shut the fuck up. God.
Oh, God. Okay, let's move in. Let's
put an end to this beef talk.
Let's move into our top 20 here.
Stephen King's favorite number 19.
Number 19. What do we have?
Oh, we've got Zach.
Giant ticks from Ticks.
Surprising.
Wow. Okay.
Feels lower than
Danny,
I thought it
you
would
and
be.
me were pretty close. Casey, you ranked these giant ticks at number 18, Danny at 14, and I ranked them at 13.
Oh, unlucky 13.
I will just go ahead and say I don't know why. I just had to be somewhere, and so that's where it ended up.
Okay.
I like them. I liked the movie. It was a lot of fun. Giant ticks are scary, but
see, when you get into this middle ground here, like without seeing my list, which I could look at, but I think it's fun to see where we ranked them in kind of reveal where we ranked them. When you get into this middle ground, it is kind of like Casey said, like they have to go somewhere. So you've got your people who you really are like, okay, these monsters, they're not that great. So they're on the bottom. Then you got the monsters who are really great. They're on the top. Then you got the middle ground, which I mean, is just, that's how it works. So number 13 is exactly in the middle of our 26. I loved Ticks. I thought that was such a fun movie. I loved that the effects were practical. I mean, it was 94, so it was pretty much had to be that way. I mean, Terminator 2 was 92, right? And they started doing like some crazy CGI, but
but it was still big budget stuff back then.
Yeah. So something like lower budget, like Ticks, would obviously use practical, which is so much fun. And then when the giant tick comes out of like at the end, and man,
so good.
I really want to watch that again.
Me too. That would be a good watch along movie. Or a commentary episode. Yeah, I love the look. I love how aggressive they are. I love that we don't get the Jaws treatment where it's like hide the shark. You just see them right away. They're disgusting, oozy.
Yeah.
Right when you meet them, they're like dripping and they just get bigger and bigger and there's more and more. It is pure excess. No one wants ticks on them. So it's like also like we get it. Like we know we get the threat at a base level. So we know how bad it can go. And then Zach, like you had said, like the fact that one literally, spoiler alert, erupts out of someone's body and there's a giant tick monster. It's just so very memorable, but they don't have like a fun motive or anything. Their story is it's their ticks. There's nothing. That's it. Yeah. There's nothing else to it. So for that,
and the farmers in that area were using the chemical to grow their weed crops higher and faster. Sure. And so like it leaked on like a tick egg or something. And then they multiplied. Yeah. It was just like a fun, pure fun monster movie. Like it was just,
it was,
you're here to
the
be
epitome of like
creeped out,
movie.
Grossed out. And just like, like you said, just a straight up B horror movie. And like the scene in the vet where she like,
best scene.
She's like, oh, there's no blood in this dog. And then like it comes out and she pokes into the tick and then it like scurries away through the thing and they're like trying to chase it. And then Casey did I remember Casey did a good sound effect of the tick. I can't remember what it was, but
you should, if you're listening, go back to our episode on ticks and our bugging out triple feature. It's really good. Great. I mean, all of our episodes are great. Watch the movie, listen to the episode. It's a perfect horror movie experience. Mm-hmm. And with that, we will leave the ticks. We'll leave the ticks behind. We'll get the heck out of those woods, even though they go to LA in the end. Spoiler alert. And let's move on to our number 18 spot.
So like going back to Winslow Leach, if we put him so low and you put him as number 5, there has to be some more on here where that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the ticks are gone. But what isn't gone is our number 18 monster. And that monster is what the fuck, you guys?
The Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
Casey,
my God.
23. Zach, 15. Danny, number 7.
Wow,
see, like when I said this was going to happen again throughout this list, it's only happening to
It's
Danny.
only me.
Sorry, Danny.
You guys are just on the same page. That's so. You put them at
not
23?
exactly. I mean, mine was at the bottom, Zach's was in the middle, and yours was up a little higher.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
They can kill all the children. They're not scary to me. So.
Yeah, I am.
I love the movie.
Yeah.
I don't.
Wait, Zach, were you the one? Was this your first time watching it? Or am I thinking of a different movie it was?
Yeah.
I don't.
I had seen.
So you don't have.
I had seen like half of it before, and I fell asleep. But so watching it as in full this time was the first time for me. And
so you saw two good halves of a great movie and still ranked it this low.
It is a great movie, in my opinion. Too. I like the movie, and I rated them lower than Zach did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 23
they just don't
on Casey's
do it
list.
for me.
Great.
They don't do it for me.
Yeah, they're not scary.
I mean, when we're talking monsters, they have to be scary, and I'm sure that it's part of because it's a Disney movie.
Sure,
but they don't scare me.
The fact that it is a Disney movie and they still they don't just get hanged; they hang themselves. They also murder children.
That's fine.
They
That's
are,
not scary to me.
but they also like are kind of like have a sense of humor about it. Like fucked up. Like that's some crazy ass shit. And like while they're killing kids, they'll be like, wait, we're going to do a musical number and we're going to possess all the adults in town so that they don't do anything when their kids are being murdered. Like that's fucking crazy. And this is a Disney movie.
Danny, let me ask you, do you think you ranked them so high? Do you think nostalgia was a part of that ranking?
Maybe. And probably. Yeah, it's hard to look past that. But I did try to justify my rankings. Like I said,
I can understand.
I like that they don't pander to like a modern Disney audience. I like that they're committed to their cause. You know, they live in hell for 300 years. They become friends with Satan. And they're like, right when someone lights the black flame candle, they're like, they clock in. They're like, let's fucking pick up where we left off.
But
yeah,
I think
true.
that part of it is because it's more whimsical. Like their look is silly, right? Like Jafar scares me more than they do, and Jafar's a cartoon. So
their looks are silly but iconic. Like God, we literally dressed up. If listeners, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the pictures from our Hocus Pocus episode during our halfway to Halloween triple feature, we all wore the wigs. Mm-hmm. So, which just says a lot about in terms of like memorability, like the fact that you can just put on a wig and you're like, got it. Like, I know exactly
Zach was
who that
feeling
is.
himself in that wig.
I liked my wig, my long blonde hair. I was like just combing my hair.
It's me, Sarah.
It's me, Sarah, the horny one. Dude, what about
like she introduces herself?
What about like an R-rated like Hocus Pocus remake?
Oh yeah.
Where it's like legit horror movie.
Well, I feel like we would have gotten something close to that. Mick Garris wrote the original draft of this, and it was supposed to be darker.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe but think R-rated. Even darker still as a Disney movie, but think about a rated R one.
Yeah.
They're actually.
And like it didn't even have to be rated R, I guess, but like something for like an adult audience, like actual horror movie instead of like a kid friendly, you know what I mean?
I'm surprised that movie doesn't exist.
Yeah. But just like the Hocus Pocus story, like with them like killing the kids to stay young, and then they go to hell, and then they come back when the candle gets lit, and then
do we want to make this movie?
Fuck yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
We'll call it Pocus Hocus.
Zach,
Hocus Hocus.
Playing Sarah.
Fuck yeah, that was my hope. But I'm just gonna wear the like the $10 wig that I have.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You like it so much, so
I've been defending these witches, although I do agree with everything you guys are saying, like the whimsy and all that. I will say a big downfall for them is they're very stubborn. Hubris gets them in the way, not hocus, but hubris. So they're not the cleverest people. Their plan is just to go after the easiest target, essentially. Like a helpless kid in the fucking 1600s who doesn't know anything except like goats and wheat. No education. But yeah, number 7, I'll stand by it, but I see your points.
Yeah, same.
All right.
I was trying to
I guess I'll move the fuck on.
I was trying to think of a Mike Tyson joke for Thackeray.
Zachary, that's you.
Yeah, I know.
Your name is Zachary.
Thinking it was Zachary Binks, and it is. Maybe it still is, but it's Mike Tyson.
Zachary Winthick.
Zachary Winthick.
All right, number 17. Here we go.
Number 17.
I love this.
Frau Bruckner.
Fucking shit.
Danny. We have Frau Bruckner from Phenomena. Danny, again, what is wrong with you, buddy?
What is wrong with you, buddy?
A great monster, a great character.
Casey,
again,
number 19. Zach, number 16. Danny, number 9. We're knocking all your top 10 like down into the fucking.
I'm so sorry, but
and what's funny is there's one fucking monster on this list that I was like, I'm going to be a little kinder because I want to have some civility in our podcast, and I want to make sure that.
Does this mean that like your top 10 the top 10 are all going to be like your low rankings?
You mean in our final list?
Yeah,
basically.
The fact that she was human, I liked. But it goes back to memorability for me. And that it's not necessarily even the movie's fault. It's an issue that I have apparently because I can't remember a lot. But I don't remember stuff about this movie. I remember is not her. So.
Yeah. Well, I think memorability is what brought it so far down on my list.
I feel like I get what you're saying because it's not. She doesn't have a visual presence in the movie, which is tough. It's not like a Jason where, even if he doesn't do any talking, it's still memorable. I guess I base it off of her kills, which are threaded through the movie, and they're so brutal,
of course,
and intense.
I don't remember them. Because this movie was so kind of
with the window and the cutting off the head.
I didn't even remember that part until you said it, because this movie was so kind of out there with what it was going for with Jennifer Connelly and the bugs and the music. Like, that's what I remember from this movie. I don't remember. And I remember the pit that she falls into at the end, but I don't remember anything.
Which, you know, like if you think like the pit, Frau Bruckner made that pit.
Yeah, but I didn't think about her when I thought about the pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I feel like I haven't gone back to rewatch Phenomena, but I will. Very fun movie.
Mark my words.
Yeah, she does have she has a lair, and it's maybe not the most like we talked on the pod how like the setup of this lair is a little faulty, but it's there. And she's also, I've always had a soft spot for Pamela Voorhees. She gives off some big Pamela Voorhees vibes in a way. She doesn't make any sense, which I love too. I feel like we always want an explanation. I feel like there was supposed to be an explanation, but because the movie's so insane, you don't really get one.
For me, that may have been its detriment, because since there isn't an explanation, I don't remember who the fuck she is.
That's fair. I just love the brutality.
Because maybe if I would have been like, oh, who was killing them? Why was this person doing this? I would have remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe it's because, my metrics for like how I ranked her in particular, because usually I do like a nice, you know, fully formed story and character and backstory and all that. And maybe it was just the break from that, like because the whole movie was crazy. I kind of appreciated that. Like, I'm still like wondering, like, I could get it. Like, she's defending her kid, but she was kind of imprisoning her kid, but then she was killing. Like, I don't know. Like, I get it. And I don't get it.
Well, she was killing like to give the kid like food, right?
I think so.
Like, why was she? I can't remember why she was killing.
I thought
can't remember.
He was. Yeah. Wasn't he killing? And then she was like killing people who knew that he was killing to like
maybe
protect him, but then she was also imprisoning him.
Well, you know, you bring up the original, or not original, but opening kill, where the lady is stabbed and then chased through the caves and then like breaks through that glass, and the glass comes down and cuts her head off. You see before that, like the chains on the wall, somebody busting off the chains. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, was that her that even did that kill, or was it the son?
This is not the time.
Let's call it. All right, I'm going to modify this from Frau Bruckner to the Bruckners.
The Bruckners.
The Bruckners.
It's a mother and a son. He's part of her. You know, like he wouldn't be there. There's a Frau Bruckner is her son. I'm counting it as
you
one.
You can do what you want with Frau. She's still low on the list.
Okay, I actually see your guys' point. Actually, maybe that wasn't her kill. I don't know. Yeah. Or maybe, what if? Because now I want to go back. Maybe the kid didn't kill anyone, but she was like chaining him up out of like. Maybe she was afraid the world would see him as a monster, and in a way,
that's why she hid him away.
Yeah, so then she would kill people who like saw him.
Well, the kid
she loved him, but she was also
the kid did attack Jennifer Connelly's character at the end.
Oh yeah,
remember there was like that whole like Jason Voorhees in the boat kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Frau Bruckner. I don't know. Like, I mean, I put her at 16, and she is now final at 17. So,
and you guys made a good case, so I'm not mad that she's at 17.
Okay. Well, let's keep going. Let's see.
I think she deserves to be at 17 then, as opposed to like if I had bumped her a little lower, she would have been even lower on the list.
Yeah.
I think 17 is good. I think
yeah. All right, let's go to 16. Let's move on.
All right, here we go. It is
Casey, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean,
this
I was
is
just thinking
Casey's
about
first bloodshed moment.
Yeah,
I get it. In my mind, I just was like, man, a dude stalking my house with a fucking crossbow. That's scary.
So at number 16, we have The Man from the movie Hush, which we just covered on the show. It was our last episode before this. Mike Flanagan's Hush. Casey, you ranked him at number 4 on your list.
Yeah.
Danny had him at number 22, and I had him at number 14.
I just want to defend my placement. We just covered this movie, so it's like fresh on the mind.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Love the movie. Love the villain. Love the character, especially after our discussion. Again, it just came down to little details. And as I was moving some monsters up, he just, as a result, was just bumped down a little bit. Yeah. I think he's a great villain, genuinely scary. I tend to gravitate toward monsters that are a little bit more theatrical and kind of having fun, as opposed to like this was a very scary movie about survival, has nothing to do with like, I love slashers like Scream. Ghostface is one of my favorite monsters. It just came down to little details like that. Love the movie, love Flanagan, love all that. But that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, Danny, I will say it's funny because you say you prefer monsters that are more theatrical, and you put him at number 22. Although in our Hush episode, you said that you love that the man is theatrical.
I know. As I was saying that, I felt myself. I know I'm contradicting myself. I think it was just it was a comparative thing.
Sure,
it was just compared.
Well, he certainly isn't nearly as theatrical as the Sanderson sisters or Winslow Leach.
He's theatrical, but
10.
he's like so fucked up and dark that it kind of makes it not like a fun theatrical. It's like.
Yeah,
I think for me, it's when the mask comes off and you meet him, it's still scary. It's scary in a different way.
Yeah,
as like a person, I just didn't like him. I didn't like that his motive was just to cause pain to people who were vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah,
it
but
just wasn't like, it's not what I tend to like want in a villain. I want there to be something different. And I know it's maybe the outlier.
For me, it's not what I want in a villain. I didn't do it that way.
Yeah.
Because I don't want what I want in a villain. I'll talk to you about later. But with him, it was like, that's why it was scary. Like, he took off his mask. He's like, I'm not fucking leaving. Yeah. He had a kill count on his thing. So we know he's done this before. It's the taunting for me, he's out there just circling around her house, tapping on her windows, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
And that's why he was so high on my list.
Okay.
And I mean, again, like for me, he was number 14. He's right in that middle ground where it's like, he could go higher, he could go lower, like, but that's where he landed.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like I put him a little lower than I'm like looking at him like number like that kind of surprised me. I was like 22. I don't remember. So
yeah. It's so hard to do that. Like Casey was saying earlier, it's hard to do these because it's like, you've got the people who are like lower and then the ones that are higher. And then, you think like, oh yeah, maybe I put him too low, but then that means you'd have to bump somebody else down.
Exactly. And like I said, like there were things about him that bumped him down, but there were also things about other monsters that just bumped them up significantly. It could be a look, or it could be just, I don't know. It became so subjective that it nearly impossible. Like I had to just eventually, I was like committing. I was like, well, you're there. I'm not touching that anymore.
Yeah. I had to do mine really quickly too.
Yeah, you have to. It's otherwise you're just going to be pulling your hair out.
Okay. Before we reveal our number 15, let's do a brief recap of where we're at so far. Starting at number 26, we have Myron Larrabee from Jingle All the Way. 25 is Swan from Phantom of the Paradise. 24, Ghosts of Our Past from Flatliners. 23 is Fear Manifestations from Gothic. 22 is Larry Talbot from The Wolfman.
Don't come at us.
21, we have Santa Claus and His Elves from Rare Exports. Moving into our top 20. Number 20, we have Winslow Leach, aka the Phantom from Phantom of the Paradise. Danny's number 5. Just want to poke that.
Throw salt in the wound.
Yeah. 19 is Giant Ticks from the movie Ticks. 18 is the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. 17 is Frau Bruckner from Phenomena. And 16 is The Man from Hush. Okay, here we go. Our number 15.
Well,
I literally just watched
Dude.
Zach die and
Well.
then come back to life.
It got really hot in here all of a sudden.
You're red.
Oh,
I'm like, am I?
my
Yeah.
God.
I knew that my number one would not be number one, but I did not think that my number one would be moved to space 15.
I mean, to be fair, it's a post recap placement on the list, so that says something. It is we have crossed a threshold.
Whew, okay.
Zach, oh my God.
Danny, this was something that I was hoping would happen to you, so I didn't have to experience it.
Thank you.
Number 15. Number 15 is Sutter Kane from In the Mouth of Madness. Casey ranked him at number 22. Danny ranked him at number 17. Zach, myself.
So you're lucky he's at 15, buddy.
Ranked him at number 1.
Oh my God.
Fuck you guys.
That's funny.
Did you know
But
why
I'm
he's
also
number
sorry.
1 on my list?
Why?
Number 1,
No,
like,
please enlighten
I
us.
fucking love the movie. I think it's
Not
so
what this is
fun.
about.
No, I just listen.
Just kidding.
I love the movie. I love just everything about it. The thing, though, that made him number 1 for me is that he created everything.
Yeah.
In that, you know, as the movie as a whole, like everything, he's the mastermind behind everything. Like
But
you
Zach,
get into like
writers never get enough credit.
You get
we
into
just
that-
want to perpetuate that stereotype.
you get into that loop in the movie where it's like there's no surviving because everything comes from him.
Yeah.
The movie itself, the book within the movie, everything is just all from Sutter Kane. And so there's no winning with him. He is just like the ultimate, you know, and I'm talking about just in the movie of that movie itself. Like he is the architect of everything. And I think that's just so like, I mean, he's all powerful. And so he was my number 1. And now, guys, I have nothing else to look forward to on this monster ranking, and I am out. Casey,
Goodbye.
why so low? She said, "He's
That
my
is a
number
kill
1."
shot. No.
He's my number 1, and he's just a throwaway for you, Casey. He's like,
Yes, he was
he
a
needs
throwaway.
a number 22.
Zach, I agree with everything you're saying.
Well, and like the things that he, you know, if we talk about like scariness, some of the monsters, again, created by Sutter Kane in that movie, are fucking scary.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that was my if I can rationalize putting him at 17, is he is the architect. He's doing the things, but he's also, he's like the Wizard of Oz kind of, you know, I'm more scared of the monkeys that are flying around than I am. Well, I guess he's not really controlling that. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm scared of what he's created rather than him itself, which you can absolutely like kind of compound that together. But as far as like him as the monster, I totally get why you put him at number 1. I think it's totally, not that it has to be validated, but it feels valid. Sure. It feels right. It feels like the right place to put this particular monster at. He is the god, so to speak, of that story. So I totally get it. And I could have maybe considered that more in my ranking. I think I went more with, I don't know. Like, I guess I already said it. I guess I'm kind of repeating myself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Zach. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Okay. Do you want to say more? This is your number 1. Like, take this moment to really just like,
I don't know how else to say it. Just like that sells it so much for me that like, none of the characters in the movie can like, there's no free will for them. Like, it's just, he is the mastermind of everything. And that's, I don't know how else to say it. Like, that's why he was my number 1. And I mean, like, he's even got like that thing, like, he looks like a normal man, but then like the back of his head is all like gross
Voldemort.
and like a Voldemort thing. And he's got like all those demon monsters that come out of that thing. He like unleashes the hell monster things from the other dimensions. And there's the old lady in the fucking thing who like splits open and she's got all the tentacles and like, that's all from him. Like he wrote all of those.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I'm gonna put him at number 1.
17,
Yeah, me
Danny.
too.
It's 17. Like
I know he does, but that's the thing is like
I'm sure you expected it from me.
Well, it's funny.
17 does feel low.
I said there is absolutely no way that Casey's number 1 is my number 1. Like it's just there's no fucking way. But 22.
Yeah, what is number 1 gonna be?
Oh,
Dude,
my God.
So I know that it's my fault. I don't remember any of that fucking movie.
Which
I didn't
comes down
remember
to
who he fucking
memorability.
was.
Like you could be the most. I mean, that's like the Frau Bruckner thing. Like for whatever reason, she just stuck to me more.
I remember Frau Bruckner more than I remembered Sutter Kane.
Damn.
And I think I think that's the beauty of these two is like this is a democracy, you guys. We're voting based on our own,
Yeah. Well, my prediction was that Danny's number 1 is going to end up in the 11th spot. So we're going to see.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's just a random prediction.
I kind of want that to be the case. Just so Zach needs a win after that. I feel bad. That's too soon for a 1 to show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
With that, all right, let's pour one out for Sutter Kane. Although he doesn't need it because we're probably in his little loop of murder and he's going to kill us anyways. Our number 14 spot. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, you fuckers. Oh my God. I can't believe this. We are all right. We clearly
We're
opposites
all very
attract.
different
Like, we are
people.
so different.
We are all different people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 14 is the cockroach monsters from the movie Mimic. Casey, number 12. Zach, number 24. Danny, number 2.
Oh my God.
You're getting a little taste of it, Danny.
Danny, that surprises me.
Well, I think the thing I'll be very quick with why I chose Cockroach Monsters. It's a Guillermo del Toro creation, but that has nothing to do with it because the man was a Mike Flanagan creation and I love him too. I think the fact of the matter is it got me to watch and want to rewatch a movie about cockroaches, which is so hard for me. This was in our biggest fears triple feature. They're one of my biggest fears, if not my biggest. It's my ultimate fear. It's done well. And just the fact that I can rewatch it so much says a lot. I think visually they're so fun. They're monsters, but they also have like a great backstory that is kind of the foundation is something that feels relatively grounded in a way. Like you could kind of justify it in science. And they have their creepy lair in the subway and they truly are like a physical threat, but they're also just, it's very much that Guillermo del Toro thing of like the monsters are just kind of monsters because we're afraid of them, not because they are necessarily evil.
Well, that's why I put them so low for me.
Yeah.
I put them at number 24 because like they're not doing anything monstrous. We as humans altered their existence, whatever. We put this, our lovely Mira Sorvino put this.
Ticks.
Huh?
But the ticks.
I just like them better.
Zach likes his bugs slightly modified, not too modified.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once they start putting on hats and jackets, he's like, I'm out. It's too much. I don't believe it.
Start becoming Dick Roach.
But Detective Roach. Yeah. That's why they were 24 for me because like they were just living and they just happened to. Yeah.
Okay. I get it. Yeah. I mean, I love them like as a like creature feature. I'm not super into creature features. So they're only my 12 because other things kept going above them. Okay. It would have been higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've talked about.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like a huge creature feature person, really. Yeah. I mean, like Pumpkinhead. It's probably, I don't love a ton of them. But I really love this movie. And the fact that they mimic like the humans too. With their looking jackets and stuff. That part's scary because I still remember for when I watched it the first time and saw that first one, thinking that it was a person. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
So
it's spooky. Yeah, they're like having fun. Like the fact that
they're like Ninja Turtles. They live in the sewers.
They are like
Ninja Turtles.
They're just like Ninja Turtles.
Eat people.
They eat people.
Yeah, they're just like they fucking like they just like kill those kids. Like you think
Yeah.
It's set up where like there's no way they're gonna die. Like they're like sweet and funny, and nope, just rips them apart and eats them.
And it's like, almost like you see it and it's like, okay, the monster, like these roaches, like for some reason, it's kind of just goes into what you said. Like you look at it and you're like, he's gonna see that they're kids and he's gonna be like, like a nature nurture thing where it's like, you'll see like a fucking some animal, like a tiger taking care of a fucking zebra cub or something. I don't fucking know what
it happens all the time.
You know what I'm talking about.
All the time.
But the fucking the roach, you'd think he'd be like, oh, they're kids, I'm gonna walk away. But he's like, no, because they're just fucking bugs.
Meat.
Yeah.
The kids. Yeah, the kids are just meat. Well, fuck you guys.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I agree. Yeah, this is 14's a good.
Dude, one hit after the other. Sutter Kane and Cockroach Monsters.
Damn, yeah, this is brutal. I'm like nervous now for Casey. What's gonna happen? I don't know.
Why are you nervous?
What are your number
one
or two?
I had my number 4 taken away.
Yeah.
Wait, you did?
I've had one.
Yeah.
The Man.
Her number 4 was The Man.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we've all taken a hit.
Yeah.
Guys, we're now at our lucky number 13. I'm like getting like nervous with all of these. Like
we do.
Okay. Number 13, Zach.
Oh.
Okay. The Green Man from Men. Casey, it was your number 5. It was you're rounding out your top 5. Danny, number 20.
Surprised.
And Zach, number 12. Why am I, like, when I say these, why am I referring to myself in the third person? Okay. So, yeah.
I don't remember putting him so low, actually.
I'm trying to think why I put him at 12. I think we're getting into like, I'm still stuck in that territory at number 12 where it's like things are moving around and shifting just because of other things.
So this was a strong one for me, which I thought that you guys would agree, honestly. So I am surprised. I'm not upset, but just because of what it represents in the movie as far as men and being a woman,
Yeah, you're not surprised. You're just disappointed in us.
Yeah, it says a lot that the two guys on the podcast were like, yeah, he's not that scary.
No, I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed either. But I just thought that you guys would.
Yeah.
Because when we watched this movie and we talked about this movie, we were all so.
Well, you know what I think? Like you bring that up about like Men, like the title of the movie, Men, like. I was only thinking when ranking this, I was only thinking like at the end when he like is the Green Man and he like comes out and he's like got the leaves on him and stuff. Like that's the only thing I was thinking about. I wasn't thinking about all the other creepy fucking dudes in this movie. Yeah. Which if I would have taken that into account, it probably would have been a little higher. But yeah, I was only thinking him at like the end once he's like become the Green Man.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm going to struggle defending my placement at 20, honestly, because I really thought I put him up higher. I love this character. I think he's truly terrifying. I love that there's so many iterations of him, from just being the guy and the mystery surrounding that, and then finding out that there's multiples and that he does have like the classic monster look eventually. And I think maybe it was more about, it came down to like a value system about what the monster stands for, and that he is like awful, and what he does represent in a weird way. Despite it making him more evil, I thought he was, in the same way Swan is just like a douche, like that lost points for me. It was more like there are better monsters than you, not in that you are not as menacing or threatening or what you represent, but just and also, he's more, in my mind, like, he was more of like a presence that was haunting. What's her character's name? Jessie Buckley's character from Men? I don't remember. Harper. Right? Harper?
Damn.
It was more of like this presence that's haunting her. And I loved, again, we made these points, like you said, Casey, in the episode. I love it. I love everything. I love this movie. I love everything it's saying. I love what the character represents. But because he wasn't like, he was mostly just this like distant present that's haunting her, as opposed to like a more traditional monster kind of attacking and like kind of something you can have fun with.
Yeah.
Maybe that was, if I had to justify.
So this is part of what I was going to say is about Sutter Kane. I was going to say, I'm not like all into that thoughtful, intellectual kind of shit. And then I was like, oh wait, I put Men at number 5 because
That's funny.
So yeah.
That's funny.
Justice for Sutter.
But I get it though. Justice for Sutter Kane. The guy who can control everything and doesn't need anyone to support him. Did he make you say that?
I'm telling you, he's the architect. He's writing it all.
That's funny.
Man, I think I might have to watch Men tonight. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, I just last night finished playing the Dark Pictures game, The Devil in Me, the one I was telling you about, Casey, with with H.H. Holmes, and Jessie Buckley is the main character.
Oh, cool.
Because there's always a known actor in each of the movies, and that's her movie.
That's cool.
Yeah, really
cool.
fun.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, we're almost to our top 10 here.
Almost to our top 10, number 12.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Are you guys ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I get it.
Exactly. It makes sense. That's like you said. Lady Sylvia Marsh from Lair of the White Worm, our second Ken Russell movie on this list.
Yes.
Casey, number 16, Danny, number 8, and I put her at number 10. So, I mean, this is like the perfect spot for her based on the three of our, it just.
There's nothing too out there. Yeah, for me, it was just her getting lost in that middle spot.
Yeah.
So, I think she's a great villain.
Yeah. She rounds out my number 10. Like, she's in my top 10.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
Danny, she's your number 8. Like,
yeah. I think I like that she's horny but sophisticated.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I like that she adds a little zhuzh to the sleepy little town that they're in. If you think about it, like what she worships the white worm, and in this town, like kind of wouldn't really be on the map at all were it not for this, the history of the white worm, like this kind of legend that kind of permeates through the town and these boring little people. It attracts outsiders to like do digs. Like, there is like a lot of history, and it comes from kind of like this quote unquote religion that she is, so devoutly a part of. Yeah. Yeah.
She's got a very original look for sure.
Totally.
With the huge fangs. And then now remind me, does she like paint herself blue at the end, or is she just like blue? Like that's the monster.
She's blue. Remember, she has blue. Because remember, we were trying to figure that out. She has the tanning bed in her room, and is that supposed to make her skin tone like more human? I don't remember.
Oh, okay, yeah. But like she's got the big fangs, and she like spits like acid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, kind of like a snake.
And so,
or I don't know, snakes.
She's played by Amanda Donahoe, who we learned to really love and appreciate after this, because I think we all agreed the only movie we remember seeing her in was Liar Liar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, another great performance. Really sinful, truly, that we don't see enough of her in more, not in mainstream necessarily, but just doesn't have as much of a. She deserves a more prolific career.
Oh, sure.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 12. Healthy spot. I think we all just liked Lady Sylvia Marsh.
Yeah.
Me a little more than you guys, but this isn't a competition. Oh wait, it is. Wait, are we just watching our folk around and find out movies tonight? You're gonna watch Man. I'm gonna watch Lair of the White Worm. That might be my favorite movie that we've done this year.
Lair of the White Worm.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that movie, but I had such a joyful experience watching that movie.
Sure.
I don't know why. It was just like, I mean, guys, listen to the episode. I probably am saying the same thing I said there.
No, but, it was a really fun movie.
It was
fun.
Again, like first Ken Russell movie that we watched. So it was a cool introduction to
first
him.
of many, I hope.
Yeah.
We're obviously going to do Tommy. Tommy?
Obviously.
That's the
movie,
right? That's
Tommy.
Okay.
The pinball wizard.
We're at the
cusp.
Yeah, we're at the cusp of 10.
Yeah. After we'll do 11, we'll do a recap. So let's reveal number 11. Here we go.
Most people turn 10 going up, but we're going backwards. We're like time travelers. Doctor Who. Oh, Peter Capaldi, Lair of the White Worm, was in Doctor
on your
Who,
mind.
played the Doctor.
Nice. See?
Oh my God. Okay. Enough of that bullshit. Number 11. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're in that
we're in that thing where it all makes sense. Yeah. The devil.
No one's mad.
The devil from the dark and the wicked. Casey number 9, Danny 15, and I ranked them as number 8. Okay. Yeah. The stuff that the devil does in this, super, super dark, right? Dark and wicked. Mm-hmm. Fucking super dark.
And the wicked.
Dark and wicked.
Here we go.
So I think that brought it up on my list. What didn't make it any higher was the fact that we don't really see them.
Oh, see, that scares me more.
For the most part.
But
yeah, that's right. You do.
I had a hard time. So getting into my top 10, I had a hard time with the demonic stuff versus werewolves versus humans. Which one is scarier and why?
Yeah.
And so that's where it was hard for me because this is Dark and the Wicked is absolutely one of my favorite movies on this list. It's one of the only movies that's genuinely scared me in years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So but I had a really, really tough time. My top 10, there were a couple, my top 3 were probably oh yeah, for sure. And then 3 through 10 were very much it was very, very hard for me to decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Danny, what are your thoughts on the devil?
I mean, I'll just echo what you said. It was just, it's always tough to rank something you can't see. But on the other hand, I agree with Casey that sometimes that is scarier. Yeah, a lot to love about this monster. I mean, it's the devil, but we've done movies with the devil before. We've literally done the movie Devil. So it's interesting to see different interpretations of that. We are kind of playing in the same sandbox where it's, this force, this presence doing evil things, really dark. This, I think, is maybe one of, if not the most disturbing kind of interpretations of the devil.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
So it truly is just so mean.
Yeah.
And that is what you would expect. Even in, I guess Exorcist isn't the devil. It's Pazuzu. Although I think the demon says that she is the devil. Anyways, it's so unforgiving. But it's not the kind of movie that's so unforgiving that it's not fun in a way. This one has a very dark sense of humor sometimes, with the cutting the fingers off and putting in in the salad, cutting the carrots, little things like that. And just how it kind of messes with people and it targets their most vulnerable, I guess soft spots, I guess.
Did she actually put her fingers in the salad, or I think we made that up?
Or did we make that up? We made that up.
We made that up.
But she was making a salad, right? She was cutting the carrots.
She cuts her finger off, but I think that's where she stops. I think
there is a recipe though, and you can find it on our Instagram. Yeah, Mama's carrot and finger salad.
Yep.
I love this movie.
Yeah, just really effective, really creepy. But that's why I have it almost exactly in the middle. It's just because it's that's it.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to move into the top 10 here. So, okay, I'll do a speed round recap before we get into our number 10. 26, Myron Larrabee. 25, Swan. 24, Ghosts of Our Past. 23, Fear Manifestations. 22, Larry Talbot. 21, Santa Claus and Elves. 20, Winslow's Leech. 19, Giant Ticks. 18, Sanderson Scissors. That was for you, Casey. 17, Frau Bruckner. 16, The Man. 15, Sutter Kane. God damn it. 14, Cockroach Monsters. 13, The Green Man. 12, Lady Sylvia Marsh. And number 11, The Devil. Okay, guys.
The Devil can't even crack the top 10. That says a lot about the monsters that are coming up, you guys.
Yeah. Okay, this is it. Our top 10. Oh, wait. I thought Danny's number 1 spot was going to be in number 11, and it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you're wrong.
It wasn't. Interesting.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be a number 10.
Here we go. Number 10.
I doubt it, because I think I know what his number 1 is.
Okay.
So
I think you're wrong. I think I know what you think is my number 1. Okay. But I'll say it when we get to it. All right, you ready,
I'll
guys?
see it when we get to it.
Number 10, you guys. I'm so scared.
Number 10. Here we go. The Islanders.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Zach,
Holy
do you not understand what
patonks.
these people did to sacrifice this man?
I've never
They put
been...
on a whole. They did a whole. Oh my god!
Casey and I are so on the same page. Makes me very happy.
They did a whole fucking thing. They made this whole plan. They lured this man to this fucking island, bro. 25? This whole island was.
This is crazy.
Number 10 is the
This
Islanders.
is crazy.
The Islanders from The Wicker Man. Casey, number 3. Danny, number 4. Zach, number 25.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Did you confuse them with like other Islanders?
Yeah. Do you remember this movie?
Weren't they just
Oh
like, I think I put them, what they were doing was terrible, right? So I put the cockroach monsters as 24 because they were just like monsters, they were just cockroaches, just like living their lives. The Islanders, well, oh, I see. I understand now.
Yeah, you see. All of these people on this island made one fucking plan all together to get this man there and burn him alive.
They are the epitome of that saying, it takes a village.
Yeah.
In this case, it takes an island, and it works. Spoiler alert, they win.
Yeah. I see where I made my mistake now.
But what's great, what I think I love, especially about these as monsters, is they are organized, like we said. They follow through on their plans. They're committed. They're uncompromising. Like, there is no, like, it doesn't matter how much you cry. Like, they're going to follow through on this.
Yeah.
But I also love that, like, their intention isn't technically sinister. They're not killing to kill. They're killing for life.
Worse.
Exactly. It's and we talk about that in the episode of like religion and how you can be so
it's dangerous.
The conviction is what's scary. And the conviction in this is even more pronounced than maybe in a lot of modern real religions, I guess, in our world. We're seeing the absolute furthest you could push it in terms of just putting everything else on the line. And just letting religion
25.
Yeah, Zach. But
I didn't feel strongly about the Green Man. I didn't feel strongly about the man. I got that. I can't.
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
I'm okay that it's in the top 10, but holy
there's that at least.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. What's the thing, Zach?
Please.
I made a mistake. Okay. When I ranked them 25, in my head, I was thinking, oh, they're just like people living their lives. Just, you guys are turning your head and doing stuff. Let me fucking say my piece.
I'm not doing anything.
They're just like people, they're living their lives. They're worshiping the land. They want to graze the crops and they do the thing. I wasn't putting it together like it was like they were worshiping like the fucking, it's like organized religion, which is super fucked up in, it's just yuck. And I wasn't putting that piece together. And so should I have moved the Islanders higher on my list? Absolutely. Would I have put them in the top 5? Probably not. But maybe not even the top 10, but they should be higher than 25. I will give you that.
But we also don't want to shame you for your choice. We all have some.
This is one of those things
kidding.
where, like we're talking about it and you guys are defending your choices. And clearly I wasn't thinking about it the right way. And after hearing your arguments, I definitely would move them up. But,
I'm sorry.
So just for some clarity, in our individual 25 spots, Casey had Myron Larrabee from Jingle All the Way. Danny, myself, had Myron Larrabee from Jingle All the Way. Zach had The Islanders from one of the most iconic horror films of all time, The Wicker Man.
Myron Larrabee who tries to steal a toy. The Islanders,
pretty much
who devise a plan to bring a man to who altogether devise a plan to bring a man to an island and burn him alive. Myron Larrabee. The Islanders,
they also have costumes.
The same.
They have a deity that they
burning
worship.
a man alive. Sinbad.
Zach was like,
burning
they're
a man
sinning
alive,
and
Christmas
they're bad.
shenanigans.
It's basically the same thing.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's funny.
Sorry for being so passionate, guys.
No, but hey,
That's my
we
bad.
love the passion.
So I made a mistake with the Islanders. They should have been higher.
You sure did.
Is there anything that you guys want to say maybe about Sutter Kane?
I made a mistake about Sutter Kane. Okay. He could have been a little bit higher. He would not have been in my top 10.
That's very fair. Okay,
But
we need to
still,
get off this island.
Yeah, let's get off that. Okay. Let's move on to number 9. I'm sorry that I brought them so low, guys. I'm sorry.
The burning wicker man is in our rear view mirror. We can't look back anymore, you guys. This is too dark.
He's saying, Jesus Christ. Good Lord, no.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me. We're moving on to number 9.
Number 9. Jesus.
All right, number 9. Whoa.
Whoa. Okay.
Daniel.
Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
Surprised by my own choice. Sorry.
Is our number 9.
Daniel.
Casey, you ranked him on your personal ranking. You ranked Patrick Bateman as number 6. Danny, number 16. And I ranked him as number 9. Originally, I think I had Patrick Bateman at like number 3 or something.
Wow.
And then he just kept moving down. So, okay.
And we're talking about Patrick Bateman from the upcoming remake from Luca Guadagnino that's coming out.
He's making a joke, but I don't understand it.
You guys didn't hear the news?
Are they remaking American Psycho?
Yeah.
He's making a joke.
No,
I swear on my mother's
life, the director of Call Me By Your Name and Suspiria is readapting American Psycho. It was just made official.
Interesting.
But obviously, I know we're not talking about that Patrick Bateman because he hasn't even been cast.
That's
so
right.
I guess there was a little bit of a joke in there. It's not a funny one. Let's move on.
For me, this was, again, I was battling between like demonic forces, werewolves, and humans. And I went, for him, it was number 6 because I went back and forth with like the subjectivity of the ending. But I looked at it as if he had actually done these things.
Okay.
Sure.
And not only was he a killer, right? Like just a super fucked up, did all that kinds of stuff, just like, you know, maimed those women, murdered those people, but he was also in a very high place. He was also like a rich white man who was able to do all of these things, which I feel like, I don't know, it just makes it worse.
Well, and for those reasons, he was higher on my list, but I brought him down. I kept bringing him down because I kept going back to the fact where it was like, did he actually do these things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that's what, since it wasn't a solid answer on that, I kept moving him down.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we're all on the same page. I think that was the one thing that was we were kind of contending with because I think on a memorability factor, I think Patrick Bateman is like, for being a basic look. I mean, I'm not saying Christian Bale's basic looking. I just mean like a basic looking, like, fucking 80s.
Like a stereotypical.
Yeah, just like some douchebag. Yeah. He's so memorable. His kills are so fucking savage. And he has such a great sense of humor. And he's nuts. Even if it wasn't, like taking out the fact that like he maybe probably didn't do anything and it's just all in his head. The fact that he's thinking these things is still pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The intention is there. And
it's the same
dark.
Sin in God's eyes.
Exactly. If you think it, you did it.
That's right.
No, but I did. I will say, with that said, he is number 16. I did lower him because it wasn't acted out. And that's it.
Right.
Otherwise, fucking love him. Love the movie. Love him.
He definitely deserves a spot in our top 10 for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm
very
glad he's in
with
there.
That. Yeah, right underneath the Islanders.
Okay, number 8. What do we got?
All right, number 8, we got
Reverend Lowe. Okay.
I had him much higher, and then I later bumped him down.
I did too.
Okay, so this is Reverend Lowe from Silver Bullet. Casey and Danny both ranked him at number 13. I ranked him at number 5.
Interesting.
I ranked him so high for a couple of reasons. One, he's a werewolf, and werewolves are just fucking badass and scary. Number 2, though, the reason he was so high is because he was a werewolf that could think.
That's why I lowered him.
Like, I did, because to me that's scary, where he's like, he's not just like animalistic, which is scary in itself, but he was like, I have a purpose, I know what I'm doing.
Right.
And it was like he was doing it for like God, right? He was doing it to be like
religion.
Yeah, I fucked up with the Islanders, Casey. I fucked up with the Islanders.
That's actually what bumped him down for me, was this when we talked on the podcast on the episode about his self-righteousness.
Yeah.
It just was like leaving a weird taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
That's what I did too, kind of. Because yes, he was higher on my list. And then when I was comparing different kinds of werewolves, ultimately I just thought that ones that couldn't control themselves were
okay.
Unless you're Larry Talbot, because
yeah, see, for me it's just super fucked up that he's like, you know, anytime people are doing that, like in the real world, it happens all the time, where like people are like, think that they know, you know, this God that they all worship, and they can say like, oh, I'm doing this evil thing because God wants it. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's so fucked up. So that's why he was my number 5, because you put that on top of a werewolf and you're like, this shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And I also gave him more points because I love that he's part of a kind of a murder mystery. You know, it's fun having that element in a werewolf story. I like that he takes advantage of his environments for weapons. He uses a baseball bat. There's something about a werewolf using human tools, like the human element kind of comes into it outside of just the form, the bipedal form and all that. Bipedal.
Yeah, because he's still like his brain is still like there, like he knows stuff, but it's just his body transforms.
Yeah, like he knows to grab a baseball bat and to beat someone.
Yeah.
All right. So Zach, I apologize. That is a top 5. But I think we can all cancel out.
I think number 8's good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I feel like we're pretty good about old Reverend Lowe, aka the werewolf.
We're getting down to
Silver
the
Bullet.
nitty-gritty.
Now we're in 7, aka Lucky 7, aka Lucky number 11, aka Josh Harden, aka we just did Heart Girl Summer last summer. And just a reminder to go back and look at those posts and watch his movies because it's great.
All right, number 7. What do we have?
Scroll all the way down in our Instagram feed to see pictures of Josh Hartnett.
Just see it.
Just
don't Google it. Go to us first.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Number 7. Okay.
All right.
Wow. Okay. We're very on the same page on this one.
Yeah, I actually thought I put these lower. These are the spirits from the movie Talk to Me. Casey, number 8, Danny, number 10, and I ranked them at number 11. Just outside my top 10. I thought I did it lower. Yeah, I think, you know, Casey, one of the things that scares you the most is when you don't see something. We don't really see them except for briefly. And it looks just like a fucking, I mean, it is hell. Corpse. But it's like hellscape. It's like torture and fucking just an eternity of sliminess. I don't know. It was pretty gross. Well, I got the.
God, I love this movie.
Me too. It's really good.
There.
Oh, so good. He's Zach showing us the cover of the issue of Fangoria with one of the spirits on the cover.
Yes. So, and speaking of Fangoria, if you want to sign up for a subscription and get some cool merchandise, visit shop.fangoria.com/howimetyourmonster or shop.fangoria.com and use the promo code howimetyourmonster. You'll get 20% off and you'll help support our show.
But wait, Zach, anyways, are you saying in order to do this, I have to find the possessed hand, shake it, and meet a bunch of demons and allow them into my life in order to get 20% off Fangoria?
No, not at all, Danny. All you got to do is go to shop.fangoria.com and enter promo code howimetyourmonster at checkout. That's it.
Oh, that's safer.
It's actually a lot simpler.
You don't have to go to hell. You don't have to meet any demons. So it's a little easier.
Yeah, I might even say it's not hell. It's a horror fan's heaven.
Yeah.
Read in Fangoria.
Yeah.
You might say that.
That's right. No
Let's say
torture.
it, guys. Let's say it on 3. if you go
What
to
if you go
if you go to read Fangoria, it's like a horror movie.
It's like a horror heaven.
No torture.
Cool.
No torture.
So, I had The Dark and the Wicked for my number 9. I had Talk to Me, just scooched it out there, number 8.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I'm more scared of things when you don't see them, even when we see them. So this is the thing. If it is a person, that's fine. I don't like it when that's why I'm not a huge creature feature person, because it's not scary if it looks too ridiculous. But if something is that's why I pervert what? That's why I prefer possession movies versus paranormal movies, because in paranormal movies they just make up all this crazy shit that doesn't make any sense. And in possession movies they're using a human's body as a vessel. So
sure,
it's a good point.
But with this, another part of the reason that it eked out The Dark and the Wicked for me was just because these kids had control over this thing and they were just bringing these demons into this world.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think I would argue that these were maybe the scariest monsters that we've met this year, for me at least. I had the most visceral reaction. Specifically, I guess I didn't know. I had seen the Fangoria cover, so I don't know why my brain wasn't preparing me for this, but I didn't realize we would really meet and see these things. I thought it was just kind of, like you said, like just humans being possessed. So when we first saw that one spirit, when they do the Talk to Me game, that freaked me out. Like I still think about that. Like that was a creepy visual.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. I also they're very unforgiving. They're very mean. They pick on the weak kind of. So they're just nasty.
And vulnerable.
Yeah.
They
just
over.
That hopelessness is really disturbing. But also, again, you balance that out with the way the movie is framed as being fun. Like these kids are just being reckless and rebellious. And then we're seeing the consequences of that. It's just a nice combination, which made them just really memorable. Yeah.
Sure.
And then the hand, I mean, that whole, the tool element is so, again, memorable in its own way. If you want to use that as like, that's the visual of like what these spirits are, that in itself is really cool.
Let's move on to number 6.
Oh my God. Are you guys ready?
I'm scared. Go ahead.
I'm scared too. I know this is like freaking me out now.
It's Art the Clown. I know it.
I think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be An American Werewolf in London.
I think it's going to be Mark.
Wait a second. Oh, I forgot about Mark Lewis.
Did you forget to put him on?
Lewis?
No, I just forgot he was on our list. Go ahead.
Who is he?
Peeping Tom.
Oh, I was right. Ooh, look at that. I mean, I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I'm glad that was him because I forgot. So
number 6. Number 6, Mark Lewis from Peeping Tom. Yeah, I put him as 19. Danny, he was your number 3, and Casey, he was your number 7.
Well, so this came down to the human aspect for me and the fact that I remembered him and all the things that he did.
Memorability.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, that's about it. I mean, creepy, stalkery man.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it was my movie pick. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies. But I like how we had drawn the comparison between this movie and Psycho and even the characters. But he is like Norman Bates, but he feels even more conflicted and sinister in a way. We're because we follow him even more than we follow Norman, we really see him kind of being actively haunted by this like need to kill. It's like a real true compulsion, and you see him fighting it, which is like very sad, but also really dark. That made it way more scary for me. And just the way he kills, his weapon of choice, his intention, how he wants. It's like art. It's very self-aware and of how disturbing it is, and love it. Love you, Mark.
Cool.
I think he was low for me because, like those, like he's fucked up and he's a murderer and he's creepy, but like it's all like from trauma. You know what I mean? Like his dad was fucked up and like Not
you don't think that's scary?
Not that it's no, just in terms of like his reasoning for being a monster. You know, he's
but
not
that's
just
so
like
real.
No, I know.
So you don't like people if they have trauma? I think you're the real monster.
Zach's number one.
Guys, what the fuck? Sutter Kane is number one. Sutter Kane.
Fucking Islanders. You did the Islanders worse than we did Sutter Kane.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all was my only reasoning for putting him so low, is that like
you hate the arts, you hate photographers. I get
it's almost like not his, like, yes, it's his fault because he's in control of his own choices, but it's also like not his fault because while his brain was developing, he was like being traumatized.
Yeah. That, I don't know. That makes it scary to me because, again, with the same thing as like men being a very real thing, generational trauma is a very real thing. It's one thing that a lot of like real serial killers
sure
have experienced.
Well, and I guess like that's probably where the way we came at it is different, where it's like, I didn't put scariness. I guess I wasn't thinking about scariness when doing that. It was just like, how much of a monster is he? Mm-hmm. Like, just in like a general sense. Oh, you're
saying that like it's not necessarily his fault. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. And I think that's why I put him so low. But in terms of scariness, like if I would have taken that more into effect or into consideration. Right.
I'm happy with that. He's in my, he was my number 3. He's number 6. So it's only 3 points away from where I wanted him anyways. So I can live with that.
Okay, so we're about to reveal our number 5 monster for this this Freak Skull year.
That was a tiebreaker. Talk to Me and Peeping Tom would have been tied. They both had 29.
Oh, dude, I don't know how you guys do fucking math. I suck at math. But okay, so with this being said, I'm going to do a recap of our top 10 where we're at right now. We have the Islanders at number 10 from The Wicker Man. We've got Patrick Bateman from American Psycho at number 9. Reverend Lowe from Silver Bullet at number 8. The Spirits from Talk to Me are at number 7. And Mark Lewis from Peeping Tom is at number 6. Danny, drum roll, please. Reveal our number 5.
Oh,
the Demons from Night of the Demons.
I forgot about them.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about them too.
The Demons from Night of the Demons. Casey,
I don't like where they're at, but that's okay.
They're at they're in your top. You rank them number 10.
Yes, and then I wrote, and because the demon versus human versus thing to me, right? So they rounded out my top 10 right after The Dark and the Wicked.
Gotcha. Danny, you ranked them at number 11, and I ranked them at number 6.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know why I ranked them so high. They're memorable, very memorable. Angela is a very memorable monster in
she is.
History of horror. They are like tortured spirits, right? Weren't they like why are they demons? I can't remember now. Talking about memorability.
I don't think we know what they are.
Yeah, they were just demons these kids were at a party and they fucked up and opened this portal and
okay. Yeah.
That's very I think we had made comparisons to like Evil Dead in our episode. It's very that kind of vibe where you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time kind of, but you're also kind of tempting evil a little bit. They know that this place is an evil place as legend tells. I think what I liked about I put them at 11. I like that they're just here to party in their own right. Maybe to
my
a
name's
fault,
Angela
though.
And I'm here to party.
Yeah. But I would say they party to a fault because remember at the end they are a little disorganized. Yeah. They cannot stop 2 people climbing a supernaturally large wall because they're so busy like just vibing. So they're not very organized, but they are iconic.
Yeah, and I think part of, like one of the first things I said was memorability, and I think it's probably just like Angela.
Yeah.
It's just
that cover of Angela on the VHS that we all saw at the video store in the horror section. You couldn't avoid it, even if you didn't want to watch this movie. That iconic image of her, I think, defined a lot of nightmares for kids our age.
No, because I didn't even see the movie. But I had seen that. I thought that I had seen the movie because I knew what the cover looked like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is what gets you in a top 10 or top 5 of a horror monster ranking list for that alone.
Yep.
All right. Are we ready to move on and continue through our top 5?
Number 4.
Our number 4.
Whoa. Oh my.
Okay.
How does this happen? This doesn't seem right.
Room 1408 from the movie 1408. Casey, you ranked it at number 14. Danny at number 6. And I ranked it at number 7.
Yeah.
It's just,
I'm happy with this.
Pure evil, right?
Yep.
It fucks with you, like to the point where
the hotel is called the Dolphin. I'm just kidding.
But remember how memorable that in itself was. It completely took over our episode.
That's right. Yep. If you want to hear more about the Dolphin Hotel, check out our episode on 1408.
Yeah, Zach, I agree with you. It is just evil. There's no motive. It's unstoppable, inhuman.
That's true.
And this is why I put it so high. It does with one room what the Overlook did with a few hundred.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice. The Overlook last year, Danny, the Overlook was your number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah, it was.
Uh-huh.
So I think, if I want to defend that choice of putting that higher, obviously we had different monsters that it was up against. Overlook, I think, is just like, it has like that grand presence too, also kind of. But in terms of like being efficient and like getting the job done, they say there's 47 deaths at the Dolphin Hotel in room 1408. Or no, 56.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm picturing him John Cusack from the trailer for 1408. 56 or 57, 56, 56 or 57.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Moving on. Top 3. Here we go.
Wait, we're in the top 3. You guys were about to hand the
bronze.
Is it bronze? Yeah, the bronze medal to a monster.
I know who two of them who are left are. I don't know who the third one is.
Yeah.
Same. I know, and I almost don't even want to think about it. Then
who's
who's this going to be? You guys,
just do it.
We're going to go with it.
Just do it. Bronze. Here we go.
We're in the top 3. The recipient of the bronze
I remember all 3.
In third place is wow,
Jack
Daniel.
from the house that Jack built.
Daniel.
The house that Jack built. Casey, your number 2 spot ended up in our 3rd spot. I ranked him at number 4, and Danny ranked him at number 21.
Sorry.
Ouch.
Dude, he is so fucked up.
Yeah. He killed all those people and then he made a house with them.
Yeah. He killed children. He killed women. He cut their tits off.
Titties off.
But this is why I put him at 21. This isn't what I want. It's not what I want in a monster. It's not to say he isn't monstrous or that.
But that's
he is 21 out of 26. He wasn't like, I liked the movie. I was actually very pleasantly surprised. And I think Matt Dillon is very, very good.
But I'm not getting there. That's not what I want.
Next year in our when we revamp this ranking system again for the 3rd time, we need to, I think the number system will help us.
It will
help us, kind of separate like, that's what I like in a monster or what I want in a monster. And like, what is monstrous?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I didn't love, his motivation just wasn't enough for me. Okay. Like he just wanted to kill. It's the same thing with the man from Hush. It's not that I don't think it's good or effective. Yeah. It's just not what I am subjectively looking for.
Yeah.
But you're not afraid of that.
You say like his motivation, he just wanted to kill. Like, isn't that's a monster?
Yeah.
But like the Sanderson sisters, they want to live forever. So they have a goal. So there's a series of events in order to achieve a goal, is what I'm saying.
Where did you rank the Sandersons? You ranked the Sanderson sisters as number 7. The Disney witches you ranked as number 7. And the homicidal maniac you ranked at number 21.
But there's like different things that are just going into it. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know how to defend it. It's just, or not defend it, or defend my choice. It's just, he just fell below what I look for in a monster.
It's scarier to me without a motive.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree.
But you did say I was wrong.
No, I'm saying what I prefer.
Yeah. So you don't agree.
Okay, Danny, I'm just going to throw this out there. I admitted a mistake with the Islanders. Then I convinced Casey to admit a mistake with Sutter Kane. Can I convince you to admit your mistake with Jack?
At all?
I wouldn't call it a mistake. I see what you're saying. There's a lot of creativity there.
I mean, he's still number 3.
He just was like kind of a dick. Like that's what bothered me the most is he was just so selfish that even
well, this is what I don't understand. That's what bothered you. It's supposed to bother you
because
that's what makes them monsters.
Even the who's the guy? Virgil?
Yeah. Virgil.
Even he was disappointed with Jack in the end.
But that's the point. That's what makes them monsters.
Yeah, I understand
that we don't like them.
The hubris was so high that even in the end, he thought he was beyond. He like transcended being a human. He was just this evil presence that he like literally tried to escape hell.
Yeah.
So it was like
because he's
the lack
such a
of
horrible
self-awareness.
Monster.
I know, I agree. I think that's what makes him a monster. But his lack of self-awareness is, I think, what removes some of the sophistication of being a monster. He is very messy, so I docked some points for that. I don't think he had a true value system in his evil, in a way, where it felt...
am gonna...
Casey's gonna fucking freak out.
I don't know, like, I feel like he also just, like, cheated. Like, it wasn't like he never hunted people. He just kind of set them up for failure.
He literally hunted a mom and 2 of her sons?
No, well, he kind of just said he just kind of run. And then he shot him.
Yeah, there was no sense of like I mean, I've been using the word theatricality a lot, which I'm going to get. I don't know. He beats a woman up and kills her. He goes through like there's fun in there. Like the way the movie is done. I like the movie. Him as a character, just like. Oh, he like got under my skin in a way where I was more frustrated with him.
You're not helping.
Than like afraid of him. I am though. I was just like annoyed by him. I was like, "You're a douche," as opposed to like, I don't know.
Okay, like he's pretentious.
I just want more of a motive. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I liked the movie. I was very pleasantly surprised by the movie. Okay, I'll say that. How about this? I should have put him.
Could have been number 20.
Yeah,
he's like, fine. I'll pick a number.
No, I just.
My number 2 is at 14, but sure. Well, your number 2 is at 3. What are we mad about?
I'm not mad. I just legitimately we see things so differently that I will never understand how you.
What's funny though is I understand where you're coming from.
That's nice. I don't understand where you're coming from.
Well, funny. You know what I think? I think there is like some personal, Danny, you said subjectiveness, like there's personal preference in all of these. I think we've got some level of stuff in there, but like, because this is our number 3, we're like, it's really coming to light. You know what I mean?
All right, Casey, anyways, I apologize for
you don't have to apologize. I just am trying to because it doesn't matter.
No, he's number 3. Like, you know, like again, like I said, this is coming to light because it is our top 3. But there definitely in my ranking list, like definitely was like some personal preference, and I probably justified it by using other things, you know. So, like I said before, I think when we keep finessing this process, we'll it'll be more number driven, and we'll take some of that personal preference out. So it's like we get to like who is the monstrous, the most monstrous monster of our last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
Because you can't help do that. Like it's just, if you don't use a point system, you can't help.
I mean, yes and no. I didn't like Peeping Tom, but he still ended up being number 7 for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, and again, like, you know, you didn't like the movie,
Right.
Danny said he liked the movie, but the character, it's not for him. It's not that kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just didn't like his methods. I didn't like his, again, I say value system, which makes it kind of imply that it's like, that means it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you
just
said
little
that.
things.
I was like, how is there a value system to
But I
this?
guess that's what
I get you.
I guess that's where the conflict is coming in for me, because what you like, it shouldn't be that's not what you like about him. That's not what scares you. That's not what makes you fearful.
But it's like he's
of
a plainclothes man with
right. That does not bring fear to you. It doesn't matter if you like it or
it's
not.
No, it's not that it doesn't. It just so happened that some other monsters on the list did more for me.
20 of them did.
The devil, a cult of islanders, demons, a guy who stabs people in the throat with a tripod. Like that's another thing with Mark Lewis, is there is this element of his choice of weapon. Like I think is just so iconic. Like when I think of Jack, the iconic thing to me with him is more his victims. You know, like the way what he does with them, as opposed to like who he is as this like villain, as this monster, as like
fucked are you in the head? Not you. You're fine. You're fine.
Who else would it be?
No, I think she was talking about Jack.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's funny to me that like, yes, I absolutely understand the personal preference coming into this, but like as you were saying the reasons why you don't like him, it was like in my head, it was like, yeah, that moves him up on the list.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I think it just became more of a gut. It became a gut choice. A lot of these were gut choices too. When I broke it down, and then I was like, I don't know.
That's okay.
I don't know. All right, are we ready for number 2?
Well, oh God, we're ready. This is gonna be.
Do we all want to kill each other?
Dude, I know the last 2 that we have.
Me too.
I'm very curious to see.
My stomach. I have butterflies.
All right, guys.
So
I know we're about to hand our silver medal, and whoever we're handing the silver medal to is gonna hurt us. There's no escaping that. Like, it's gonna hurt. So whoever's taking the, who's ever braving their hand for this experience, God bless you. All right, number 2,
silver
medal.
Art the Clown from Terrifier.
Danny.
Wow.
Yeah. So okay, Art the Clown from Terrifier takes the silver. Casey, obviously, you ranked him as number 1.
No, I don't want to say obviously, because I have many reasons.
Okay.
It's not just because I love him.
Okay.
It could be because you love him.
Well,
Danny, number 12, not even in your top 10. And
but
I ranked him at number 3.
Pretty high?
Number 3.
Do you have any idea what it took me to watch Terrifier?
Well, I know, and that's why he should be higher on your list.
Well, I'm gonna. Casey, do you want to go first since he was your number 1? Go ahead.
Number 1 for me. Yes, I love Art the Clown. Yeah, he doesn't die. He's got there's no reason for him to be doing anything that he does. He's the most sadistic being on the list. He'll kill anybody at all for any reason whenever he fucking wants to, however he wants to. He tortures people, he destroys people. He doesn't discriminate. And he's a fucking icon.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. Yeah, whether you like him or not, he's definitely cementing a place for himself in horror history.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's become a new icon. We haven't had a slasher icon in a very, very fucking long time.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah. I put him at number 3. I think he was like, originally he might have been like 5, I think. And then when moving things around, I moved him up because of the reasons Casey just said. This is probably the exact opposite of Danny's the house that Jack built argument. I don't care for Art the Clown. It's not my cup of tea, but the reason I put him as number 3 is because he is just like pure evil. Like everything just Casey just said, like he is just like, he is a monster.
Yeah.
And
he's the most monstrous monster on this list.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with anything you guys are saying. 100% pure icon. I mean, there's a reason he's number 2 on our list of all the monsters we've met this past year. Number 2. I don't have as much of a, I don't know that much about Art the Clown outside of the first movie. So obviously I know I just want that clear too.
Oh yeah. Danny hasn't seen number 2 or 3.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So I only know what he's doing in this movie. And it comes down to a lot of the things that I kind of mentioned already for other monsters, of just kind of the motivation. Again, totally understand that like a lack of motivation is in itself terrifying. It's just came down to when I looked at monsters that went
The
above
Sanderson
him.
sisters are scarier than Art the Clown.
I never said scary. We are not ranking the scariest monsters. We are ranking the monsters.
I mean, it's a big part of it for me, but
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. And I think that's where the subjectivity comes in. But like, I think visually he's very cool. I think his kills are very memorable and
theatrical, maybe
gross. Yeah, theatrical, but I don't know. Do we want to take the gloves off? Because I am trying so hard to be nice about this.
No, I mean, if you don't think that his kills are theatrical, then I think that you're just kidding yourself, because
I never said that.
Absolutely are.
I just said
and all I'm saying
great.
is they're theatrical, and then are you trying to disagree with me?
No.
Then why did you say you're going to take the gloves off?
Because I'm trying to be nice, and every time I say a compliment about him, you tell me you like attack me.
I didn't attack. Zach, did I attack him? You said his kills are, and I said theatrical.
Listeners, I just need to remind everybody that we're all friends here.
We are all
I'm not
friends.
mad.
Yes,
I'm not mad.
I like a healthy debate. Yeah.
Yes.
No. Hopefully, no one's being offended. I'm not offended.
I got louder about Zach's fucking Islanders at number 25.
Yeah, you guys reamed me for that one.
I apologize. I don't know. Again, it just. I mean, who's above? Above Art the Clown, I've got the demons from Night of the Demons, the spirits from Talk to Me, Frau Bruckner, who I thought at the time did more
Bruckner.
than I realized. I apologize for that. I thought she did more kills. There was just a lot of like favorite monsters that just really had an impact on me, whereas Art the Clown that's so not my cup of tea in terms of like what a monster does. It's not to say it's not effective or done well. It's just like, oh God, like I'm just like so grossed out that it's hard for me to like gush over it. Like a fan of something would, which is totally understandable. I gush over all my favorites. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea. But that's not to say that I don't agree that he has a very iconic look, which is why he is number 12 out of 26 monsters.
Yeah, and that's where these averages, because all three of us have very different tastes when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
And so the averages really work out because he is number 2, even though...
Yeah, because I really didn't think it was fair to put him much lower. And I could argue like maybe 12 is, maybe I should have put him in my top 10 because he is so iconic. Something just...
Oh man, I would have loved it if you put him at 25.
Can you imagine?
I mean,
I would have never done that. No, iconic look, super memorable. Number 2, silver medal, Art the Clown. Congratulations.
Okay, so Art the Clown, whether he's your cup of tea or not, he does, I think, in the top 3 is reasonable for our list. But I do want to say, when we hit episode 200, we are doing a 200 monster.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes,
episode.
Not a chance. No
I
way.
will literally do that.
It's going to be an all-nighter.
It
will
would
have
take
like
24
5
hours.
guests on, so we'll have more people.
Okay, so
that
if
would
we're
be
doing
so fun, like a whole like extravaganza, or like maybe multiple parts. I don't know.
Monsterpalooza.
Monsterpalooza. Yep. Episode 200. That'll be so fun. Mark your calendars. Okay.
We don't know when it is, but
Yeah, but mark
okay. What is our number 1 monster from the last Freak Skull year? David Kessler from An American Werewolf in London. Casey, you ranked David as number 11.
Yes.
He was Danny's number 1, and he was my number 2. Danny, I thought your number 1 was going to be in the 11 spot. How does it feel to have your number 1 in the number 1 spot?
My number 11 is in
Wait,
the
your
number
11 was that's so funny.
I knew something. I knew there was something there.
11 was just like ringing out to you.
Yeah.
It feels good. It feels right.
How does it feel to be a winner, Danny?
Because I chose it. Yeah, like, I don't know what else to say. As far as okay, I think this is a great encapsulation of what I'm looking for in a monster. Now, I know we were talking about like theatricality and motivation, which seems kind of like it doesn't have a place with a werewolf, but motivation can be anything. Motivation for this one, it was just like werewolves hunt, they're hungry, they're eating, they're, you know, and also you could tie it back to David Kessler as this like American backpacking through Europe. Is that we talked about it a little bit on the episode about this kind of like that consumerism quality of the American kind of invading these like other, you know, countries with their I don't know, little picadillos, I guess. Yeah, in terms of theatricality, is just the way the curse applies to everything like surrounding it. So obviously like the ghosts are not the werewolf, but it is part of the curse. So I kind of encapsulated all of that. And also just the transformation is just one of the most iconic moments in horror movie history. It was so hard for me to put this. This is one that kept creeping to the top where I was like, oh my God, is this number 1? Like, holy shit. Like I didn't expect that. But David as just himself, he brings a lot of the comedy with that performance. You get a lot of different varying levels of a performance and all those emotions. And I think he does a really good job of conveying them. But yeah, just he's a werewolf. He's memorable, iconic. Kills are fucking awesome. They're so much fun. It's very much a character that it's in and out. Like you get the cool transformation. When he's done, the movie's over. Like this is a character movie. And I think it's represented perfectly by just kind of all those elements that I just kind of mentioned.
Okay. Yeah. He was my number 2. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, after going through this list and like having this conversation with you guys, I'm not exactly sure why I put him at number 2.
God damn it, Zach.
If we're taking like what?
You did the same thing with the Islanders.
No. It's different with the Islanders. Because like I think I was putting nostalgia and like into this a little bit. Although memorability.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because David himself as a person isn't really a monster, but when he is, at no fault of his own, becomes a werewolf, and then he's that one. Like you compare him to Reverend Lowe, who has like a conscience, even when he's a werewolf. David is just an animal. Yeah,
David has nothing to do with the werewolf, really.
Yeah.
But isn't it the lust of like a young man who's just like horny and just like wants and is just like consuming and traveling and we literally meet him like has this like appetite for, it's like this selfish appetite, which is not even a bad thing necessarily, but it becomes exacerbated by this curse. So it's like you're getting this representation of this heightened representation of like what he represents as a young man. But now, you know, he's literally a guy in the city wreaking havoc.
Yeah, but again, there's nothing really wrong with that.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's that heightened. Like you take those elements and that's like the monstrous.
But even if he wasn't like that, he would still turn into a werewolf if he got bit by a werewolf.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, from a narrative perspective, like telling a story to take this character, like you could have, the movie could have been about anyone turning into a werewolf, but the fact that it was about this type of person and having that experience was just a nice, like, it feels it's the heightened version of that.
But him as a human, he's still not the monster.
No.
Yeah.
So,
but he is the monster.
He is. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I think maybe, you know, looking back on it, maybe we shouldn't have put David Kessler. We should have put like the werewolf.
Yeah.
David Kessler.
But I understand. Yeah. I mean, he's a solid number one. I'm not upset that he's number one. I'm just like, you know, after we've talked about all these monsters in one setting, and now I'm like kind of rethinking, like maybe I probably would have put him lower if.
Is Sutter Kane still your number one?
Yes, Sutter Kane is still my number one. I'm not. There's nothing. Yeah, I'm not going back on that. I'll move the Islanders up. Islanders up, but
thank you.
Sutter Kane is not moving down.
Did you think that you had a chance?
I kind of did.
What?
I feel like I was unfair.
Like, yeah,
Danny's
gonna put Sutter Kane at number 1 too, and Casey will put him at like in the middle somewhere. Yeah, hell yeah.
I think me putting him at 17 was maybe unfair.
Yeah, I definitely thought he'd be higher. I was so surprised to see him at 15.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. This was fun. This was overall, I know we've had some heated discussion during this, but this is so much fun. I'm glad. I'm happy with our list. I think the top 5 are solid.
Yeah.
You know,
we've got a whole pack of demons. Sorry.
Whole pack of demons. No, it's fine. I was just going to say, like, Room 1408, like, I never would have thought that would be in the top 5.
Yeah.
But I'm not upset about
it. Me neither, clearly.
But it works because,
we have a room.
I mean,
in our top 5. It's just a room.
But look, Jack built the house. In that house, he built a room 1408. It is haunted by the demons, just like the funeral home in Night of the Demons. Art the Clown is the entertainment at the birthday party that David Kessler will
have horrible sex
as this house is built in London and he's going to crash it with horrible sex. Him and Art the Clown are going to have horrible sex.
I would pay to see that.
You'd go see it in the porno theater.
David would definitely be the bottom because he's on all fours.
Art the Clown doesn't have any human desires, though. So.
All right, guys. Well, that's it. That is a year of monsters packed into one fun, super friendly, not divisive episode.
Oh, my God.
So, and we actually have one more episode in our masked up triple feature before we move on to our next phase in this year. So, Danny, what is our next movie that we're covering to wrap up our masked up triple feature?
We're going to be watching the new recent horror movie, In a Violent Nature.
Okay. Love it. Super exciting. I think we talked about this briefly before, but it's a very, again, like this list, it's a very divisive movie. I loved it personally. I'm excited to talk about it. So, listeners, tell us what you think of our official 2024 monster ranking. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I know a lot of you have voted for your fan favorites, and we will be announcing that. It may be announced. I'm not sure. We might be announcing it soon, or it's already announced. I don't really know just yet, but
you announced it. Oh, I thought I announced it.
I thought you Casey. I thought Casey announced it.
Oh, she announced it.
No, you announced it. So that'll be great.
That'll be great.
Great. That'll be great.
So let us know your thoughts. Find us on social media, How I Met Your Monster, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. Guys, where can our listeners find you guys on social media?
I am on Instagram at WolfMotherCasey.
Nice.
And I
Danny?
am also now on TikTok at Casey.
Oh,
Fuck yes. We're gonna
just in time
start
for a
going
new freak school year.
a new freak
Yep.
school year. Yeah, listeners, we have reached a milestone on our TikTok following. So we have passed 1,000 followers on TikTok, which means that we will now be able to go live and hang out on TikTok Live. So Casey and I are going to be doing some fun.
Maybe I'll do it too.
We're not sure if Danny's going to join us or not. I think it would be fun if Danny did, but he might not. But we're going to be doing some fun live stuff on TikTok. So make sure to follow us over there because it'll be fun.
Danny, don't follow
It'll be
Danny.
fun.
Yeah, just please don't leave me alone. I'm coming. I'm joining. I did not want anyone to look at me.
Well, hey guys, it's October now. In January, TikTok might be gone, so who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh shit.
We'll see what happens. So, but we'll have some fun with it for now. So, Danny, where can our listeners find you on other social medias besides TikTok?
Yeah, you can't find me on TikTok yet or ever. We'll see. You can find me on just various social media platforms at my name, Danny Salem. That's DANNYSALEMME. 2 M's like the candy, melt in your butt, not in your hands.
Wonderful. And you can find me on social media at Zach Winsick. Until next time, until we meet again for In a Violent Nature, thank you all for listening. Now go meet some monsters.